Nearly 2 weeks after the British government gave him a red carpet treatment, the Saudi Crown Prince has kicked off his marathon tour of the U.S., where Mohammed Bin Salman got another tremendous welcome. While in London, the 32-year-old heir to the throne wrapped up his visit with an agreement to buy dozens of advanced British warplanes. Similarly, in Washington, Mohammed's trip was pretty much focused on the purchase of U.S.-made military equipment. During an Oval Office meeting, U.S. President Donald Trump boasted of multi-billion-dollar sales of arms to the kingdom, which he said was, quote, peanuts for the oil-rich country.
If you look in terms of dollars, $3 billion, $533 million, $525 million, that's peanuts for you. Should have increased it. $880 million, $645 million, $6 billion, that's for frigates. 889 million, 63 million, and that's for various artillery. Some of the things that we're now working on, thanks, and that have been ordered and will shortly be started in construction and delivered. THAAD system, $13 billion.
As part of his administration's policy of appeasement toward Saudi Arabia, Trump also leveled the barrage of criticism against Iran, slamming Tehran's policies in the Middle East and beyond.
So it's really, they don't seem to go beyond the dollar signs in any kind of relationship. They don't seem to think that, as the North African Ibn Khaldun from the 14th century said, that if you treat people as instruments, you run the risk of destroying them in warfare. And then this is what's done. Mohammed bin Salman and his Saudis and the United States with its President Donald Trump don't seem to have the interests of people as people in the situations. They seem to see them as instruments, something to be used, discarded, and thrown away.
Mohammed bin Salman's U.S. visit comes ahead of the third anniversary of Saudi Arabia's war on Yemen. The onslaught has claimed the lives of some 14,000 Yemenis, mostly civilians. The Saudi war has also driven Yemen to the verge of widespread famine, where 8 million people are at risk of starvation. Needless to say that most of Saudi weapons have been supplied by the U.S. and the U.K. British sales of military equipment to Saudi Arabia topped $1.5 billion last year. In May 2017, 4 months after he took charge of the White House, U.S. President Donald Trump also signed a weapons deal with the kingdom worth about $110 billion. The arms deal was the largest in American history. Trump called the agreement, quote, tremendous, and bragged about the billions of dollars in investments and jobs that would be brought to the U.S., however, at the expense of Yemeni civilians.
It's buying American foreign policy, buying British foreign policy to protect and promote Saudi Arabia's interests in the region, in the Gulf, and in the rest of the Arab world. It's not something that is good to think about. Both Mohammed bin Salman and Donald Trump have been described as being narcissists.
Meanwhile, Mohammed bin Salman, a stalwart critic of the 2015 Iran nuclear deal, is also expected to push for more pressure against the Islamic Republic ahead of the May 12th deadline for Trump to extend waivers on economic sanctions against Tehran.
But, it is, as Richard Dreyfuss had said in his book, The Devil's Game, that the biggest mistake the United States made in the 20th century was connecting itself up to Saudi Arabia and working with that country. And that is the country that essentially has directly attacked the United States on September 11, 2001, for fear of retaliation against them.
Saudi and U.S. interventionist policies on invasive actions, including both countries' support for anti-Damascus terrorists, have intensified tensions in the Middle East. Now, with the Saudi Crown Prince and the U.S. President getting together at the White House, it is no surprise that the flames of crises could leap more than ever.